to get to the reporting module is you're going to click on reporting over here. When you click there, it'll take you to an external website. By default, it'll go to your Internet Explorer. However, if you choose to, I would copy the address here. Let's say you prefer Chrome. I would copy the address. Okay. I'd open up Chrome. I'd paste it here. And then put in the access code, username, and password, which can be found in Wireless Standard. To find the access code on Wireless Standard, you go up to where it says Help and click on About Wireless Standard. Now you would copy the access code. Okay. Then you would go ahead back into Chrome. You would enter the access code. Okay. Then you would put the same username and password as you do in Wireless Standard. And that's if you prefer to use Chrome as opposed to Internet Explorer or the default program you have. So now this is the reporting module screen that we're looking at here. On the left-hand side, you notice we have different tabs. Now the one tab you want to keep in mind is the Customs tab. Now this is where you get to create custom reports. This is where you also get to create and distinguish and coordinate who gets access to certain reports. We'll get to that point a little bit later. But right now, if you ever want to look at all the folders for our reports, you go down to where it says Reports and you click Open. Now here are the different categories of the reports that you can run. So we have a category, let's say, for inventory. When I click Inventory, it'll display to me all the different inventory reports I can run. For example, here we have business contacts, inventory adjustment details, inventory count, and so forth. One of the inventory reports we get asked for the most is the one that says inventory quantity and cost by store. Now, when doing certain reports, you can select locations. So if you have multiple stores, you can select different stores or exclude stores from the reports. Also, if you notice here, we have products. So let's say you want to run a quick inventory quantity and cost report, and you just want to check out your accessories. So the only one you would have highlighted would be accessories. And if you run this report, it'll run the report only for the things that you choose. Or if you want to be more specific, let's say you want to see how a particular item sells, or you can actually expand and select a particular item or deselect a particular item. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run a search for all the products and click on OK. Now if we take a look at what we have here, we'll just run through what we're looking at. So the first column is store, second column is bin, okay? Third column is product ID, which is exclusive to your own database. The next column over is the product description. If your product has a serial number or an IMEI number, it'll appear here in the serial 1 column. Okay. Quantity is how much total we have of these items. Now if it's an item, that has a serial number, okay, even if it's the same product, because of the different serial numbers, it'll display as a different product altogether on a separate line. Now if we look at the columns of quantity and we go all the way down, we see here in big bold letters, in big bold numbers, that this is our total amount of products we have in our company. Now if we look at total cost, now cost is how much we pay the vendor for these items. So if we look at the total cost and go down, over here we see the total amount that we've spent in the store inventory so far. Now we have another place we go to where we can look at our reporting options. So up here on the upper right with the little arrow pointing down, it says report options. Click there. One of the first options I'm going to show you is how to show hide columns. Now this can be done with all the reports. You go to modify and then you go over to show hide columns. Now if you notice, this box appeared over here on the left hand side. These are the optional columns that we can add to the report. And what I mean by that is these columns here can also be removed. So this report I'm printing out is an inventory quantity and cost by store report. I have clients that whenever they want to run a quick inventory of the entire store, they go to this page, this report, and they print it out for their employees. And then their employees go around the store and begin counting while the store is open. So that way you don't have to close the store down to run the inventory. However, there are certain things that you may not want your employees to see. For example, you may not want your sales reps to know how much you pay for each item. So what you can do is you can augment the report for them. Click on total cost, for example, click and hold, and drag it into this little box, and let go. And now you'll notice we remove this column completely. Now the same, it can be done vice versa as well. So if you see a column here that you want over here, simply click, drag it, and then drop it on the columns. And now we have a new column here. Now another type of option we have, okay, we go to modify, and we can add the report to custom. Now when you click add report to custom, it takes this report parameters and it creates it for you on a folder separate up here that says shared. Custom. And then you'll see it down here and you would select it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this report to custom now. And we're going to name it something so we know what we're looking at. Now the description will be what it's going to be, how it's going to describe the report. Now if you have multiple stores, you can select the report to share with certain stores only. Also, if you just have a select group of employees that you want to view this report, you can select your employees from the Employee tab. Now be aware we also have mobile reports, which means that you can check this reporting module by copying the link and using the access code, username, and password like I showed you previously. So if you copy the link and email it to yourself or text it to yourself, you can actually view the reports of your wireless standard on any mobile device. And now we're going to click OK, and we're going to add this report to our custom reports now. So now we are no longer in all, we are now in custom. If we scroll down, we'll notice that testing, inventory quantity, and cost by store. Pardon me. If we look down here where it says inventory, quantity, and cost by store, this is the custom report I just created, that I just moved over here. So now I'm going to click it and I'm going to run it, and it's going to give me the same results as it did before. However, now that it's in customs, there's more you can do with it. Now, one of the things you can do from customs is to subscribe to a report. You could also export the report to an XLS file, which is for Excel. Or if you want to, you can print the report from here.